Live from the UFC Apex here in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Big dreams. Cody Haddon makes his UFC debut tonight.
Haddon is fighting a perfect fight. He's keeping on his heels. He's keeping Arquette on his heels, and he's throwing long combination.
Your winner by unanimous decision, Haddon!
Right away, Sharif throwing hammers.
Ain't messing around.
Sharif now putting together some grounded pounds. Oh, he's entering this one all in the first round, and now Junior Tapa finding a second win.
Massive shots. He senses the end. He's got to control himself.
There it is, Junior Tapa. Yeah. A winner by TKO in round 2. Oh! Big left gets through. Tamirov.
1-2.
Oh, and another one.
Look at that.
Kara trying to get out of the way of danger. He's on the run.
Tamirov is
Tamirov now working the body, and that's the one that does him in.
nice knee. Yeah, great timing. Yeah, Tyra's looking a little winded right now.
I'm telling you, this guy's
Tyra on the run.
These are big shots.
Final minute now.
Nice double.
Oh, he's going to go for the guillotine.
Your winner by split decision, Brandon
What do you want next?
Title shot next, that's the only fucking discussion. I beat everybody in the top 5 of the fucking division. Who the fuck else? Who the fuck else?
Kia ora e te iwi no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky Koravinda Hunia tōku ingoa. Breaking news today coming out of the UFC. The promotion will be returning to Sydney in February 2025 for UFC 312 on February the 9th and will take place at Qudos Bank Arena. Exciting times, and here to talk with me about it today is 4th ranked UFC Flyweight Kai Kara-France. Kia ora e hoi and welcome back.
Kia ora. Thank you for having me. Awesome to always be here.
As you can see, the sights here of Sydney Harbour, Kai. News has dropped today that the UFC is going to be returning. Your thoughts?
Massive news. Just goes to show how popular UFC is on this side of the world. You know, it just feels like yesterday UFC Perth, and now with this being announced, UFC Sydney starting 2025 with a massive pay-per-view card. Could be the next fight. We don't know. But yeah, awesome to showcase, you know, this region's talent, and you know, there's so many new names that are going to be a part of these cards.
Absolutely. I was going to ask, that would be my next question, is does February 9th have a ring to it for you?
Oh,
I know you want something sooner.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a lot of, actually, we were having a corridor just before, there's a lot of moving parts in my position. You know, having just fought on UFC Perth, taken out the #1 contender, and there's a lot of fights playing out in this flyweight division. I'm in a position where I feel like I deserve a title shot. So if the UFC want to put that on that card, the winner out of Pantoja and Kai Asakura fight for the title in February in Sydney. That's what I want. That's what would be dream scenario. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. There's a few fights that have to play out in the next few weeks. Obviously Roval and Taito just fought, and then Moreno and Albazi are fighting in a few weeks. So we'll see what happens, and then obviously this flyweight title that's happening in December. Yeah, so there's a few fights that have to play out, and then I kind of want a Christmas. I kind of want a New Year's, and
is it too much to ask?
Enjoy summer. But yeah, if I do get the call up and it is February in Sydney, I know I missed out last year being injured. I was supposed to fight Manel Cape, and that's when I got the drink bottle thrown at me. So this time I'll be ready to catch that drink bottle and throw it at whoever I'm fighting. So we'll see what happens. I know I owe Sydney a fight, but yeah, I'm in a good position to kind of just see how how everything plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we're going to get into the state of the flyweight division, which isn't a bad thing. It's an exciting time for your division right now. But the man that was here to help with this announcement was the former featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski. Does that kind of cue to us that we can expect to see him on this card?
It could be. You know, he's been out for a while, taking a rest, enjoying the family time. I see he's on a farm now, so he's enjoying all the milking and looking after his animals. So yeah, I think it is time. Well, it does fit his time frame of coming back. So if that is, I'm excited. I'm glad that he's taken time away just to, you know, let everything settle and do what he needs to get back to the top. And you know, I'm going to support Alex and whatever he wants to do in his career. You know, he's already proved himself time and time again that he's one of the best to ever do this. So if that's the winner out of Max and Ilia Topuria, you know, I think that's enough time to get ready for Feb. So yeah, I'm excited if he is wanting to be on this card. There's nothing better than an Aussie crowd supporting one of their own. Like I was there when Alex fought Islam, and just seeing everyone sing his walkout song, Land Down Under, like it's actually one of the best moments. Seeing that walkout live and just seeing how excited people are. So I can't wait if he's going to be fighting again.
Absolutely. And cherry on the top, being in Sydney, that's his hometown. I mean, it's one thing to fight in Perth, but another to fight in Sydney would be absolutely huge for Alexander Volkanovski. He did say on this show that he will have the winner.
You know, I can be active and just fight anybody, or I can just wait for the title. You know, what gets me out of bed, just a contender fight at featherweight, is probably going to be hard. Look, I love to be active, but at the same time, I need the right fights.
So can we expect to see you taking on the winner of that fight?
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what's happening.
If they can turn that fight around, that would be enormous. Not only for, I mean, the UFC fans, but down here, that credibility of, you know, the strength of UFC fighters we have down here, to have someone like them down here would be amazing.
No, hard out. You know, Max is such a legend. You know, winning that BMF bout against Justin Gaethje, like probably one of the best moments in UFC history. That knockout, and then fighting one of the toughest strikers in that featherweight division. Ilia, you know, slick, good boxing, good head movement, just vicious, and he like goes for those highlight reel knockouts. So, however, that fight, I heard, today that Ilia is going to point down the first 10 seconds and then see what Max is going to do. So it would be pretty cool if they both settle it just right in the middle, no one taking a back step, just swinging. So yeah, if the winner of that does end up fighting Alex, Sydney's in for a treat. Nav's got a fight coming up in December. I know he wants to stay active, so he could have a quick turnaround. Kev coming off a tough fight in France. I know he'll be looking to get back in the win column, so you know he's another guy that could be on this card as well. Obviously, Carlos is a big fight coming up, but could be enough time to get ready for Sydney. So there's a lot of potential fights that could be a part of this card. And then obviously the pool in Australia that they can fill up a whole prelim and main card. So if I'm fighting, if not, I'll be there to support and just enjoy it.
Let's get back to the flyweight division, because as you mentioned, the whole top 5 are active at the moment. You started things off with your win over Steve Usyk in Perth. You mentioned Brandon Royval getting the win at the weekend at UFC Fight Night, and we just watched some highlights at the top of the show of Royval getting that win. But what are your thoughts? He's actually number 1 contender now, calling out the title shot. You're ranked number 4. You had a great win over Steve Usyk, who fought for the title. But where is this all leading? Because now old mate from Japan has been thrown into the mix. Kai Asakura is now fighting for the title. What were your thoughts when that fight was announced?
My thoughts was they've got the wrong Kai. Like after my fight, I was calling for the title shot, and I think, sweet, I've got it. And then I heard they're bringing in a guy from Japan, and his name's Kai. It's like, bro, he hasn't even fought yet. I don't think he owns it. You got to at least show your worth, or like do something. And, you know, for guys that have been grinding for years in the UFC division, you know, fighting the best guys, we've proved that we belong here. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. It's weird that you can come in off no fights in the UFC and get a title shot. Hey, but if it's going to bring in more attention to this flyweight division, you know, a bit of controversy, a bit of, you know, does this guy deserve it? Yeah, he can go out there and prove it. So yeah, it's a tough fight. Obviously in Japan, they're known for fighting in rings. I've fought in Japan before as well, and it's just a different style. And coming into the UFC, you need to have good wrestling because you're going to get pushed against the cage, and the guys are going to grind on you if you're not ready for it. And in the ring, it's more catered towards strikers, and it's harder to stick to your style if you're not well-rounded. But yeah, I guess I know Kai Asakura, and I know the guys he's been fighting are top level. So I'm expecting a tough fight against Pantoja. But I feel like Pantoja's got that mongrel in him where he'll make the fight dirty, make it ugly, and come out on top. And obviously, I just want him to win, so I can be the next guy to take him out. So a lot of MMA math going on here. So yeah, you've got Royval, number one contender. He's fought Pantoja twice. I don't know if
he's lost to him twice.
He's lost to him twice. So I don't know if he deserves another title shot just yet, just because of how recent that fight was against Pantoja. I know he's just fought. He beat Moreno, and then obviously Tito's coming off a loss now, undefeated. So he's not in the right now in the title contention race. In a few weeks, we've got Moreno fighting Albazi, a guy that. Is probably the only guy that thought he won against me. The rest of the world probably thinks differently. But hey, he's got a fight in front of him. Moreno's a tough fight. He's going to make it ugly as well. He's one of those fighters that just knows how to turn it on. You know, similar to what I do, channel my ancestors, my tupuna. He does that with his Mexican background. You can see it when he walks out, really embodies their Mexican fighting spirit. And then yeah, it's a headline as well. So a tough fight for both guys, but I feel like Moreno's got enough to get it done. Royval already won last in the weekend and just fought Pantoja twice. Moreno, when he probably wins against Albazi, he's only going to be on a one-fight win streak, and he's obviously fought Pantoja many times before. And then with Pantoja fighting Kai Asakura, and I feel like he's going to do enough to win. Then I see myself fighting Pantoja in Sydney next year, 2025, for the title, flyweight world title. So that's why at the moment I feel like I don't need a fight. I can let things kind of play out and be the next guy to step in. I haven't fought Pantoja in the UFC yet. We fought on Ultimate Fighter, season 24. This was 2016, so 8 years ago. A lot has changed since then. There's a story there. We haven't fought each other. You know, I'm a guy that's coming in who's been overlooked a lot in his career, and people counted me out. You know, my last fight against Steve, people saying that, you know, Steve's going to be the next world champion. Look what he did to the former in his last fight, taking Pantoja to the distance and probably should have won. And then I took him out in the first round. So I'm in a good position to kind of just see how everything falls into place, and I know that I'll be ready for a title shot when it comes.
Now look, Kai, we have a lot of New Zealand fighters that do us proud on the world stage, and another one of them is former WBO Heavyweight boxing champion Joseph Parker, who has been helping to prepare heavyweight champion Jon Jones, which is pretty cool. What are your thoughts on that? You know, like our fighters being of that caliber to prepare fighters such as Jon Jones.
Hey, Joe, we have a gym in Auckland that you can come down and spar. You don't have to go all the way to America to spar. But no, I love that he's helping out Jon Jones. You know, like Joe's such a just a humble, just a legend of the sport. You know, he's done so much already, and just to see his career blossom and kind of he was in a bit of a rut a few years ago, and then now, you know, he's in his prime, and it's awesome to see. He's really just dialing in whenever he fights now, and you know, taking out these guys where people thought he was just just had a good jab, and he was just good at getting the win, decisions, or just doing enough. And now he's really going for those kill shots. So he's put himself right in line for whoever's next for the title. And, you know, to have that kind of look for Jon Jones, you know, real technical hands, big body to work with, and just to see, you know, two legends collab together and work together, that's pretty awesome.
Speaking of Joseph Parker, he's over in Ireland at the moment, and we got to check in with him to see how he thought of training with Jon Jones. Well, first of all, Joseph, thank you so much for joining us on UFC on Sky. It's nice to have a boxing head on the show. I'm quite biased towards boxers, so I'm very happy about this chat indeed. But you're currently over in Ireland, you know, well into your training now. So talk to us about how it's all been. And you were just saying you've got your family over there too, so added bonus.
Added bonus for sure. I'm in Ireland training. I was, you know, since my last fight in March against Gilles Zhang. I was mentioned that I could be fighting September. You know, push out to October, into December. Now sometime next year. So I've been planning camp, and you know, I thought to myself, I want to come here and train, and hopefully I can get the fight locked in for December 21. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but I am here training, and I've traveled quite a bit recently. You know, I went from New Zealand to London for the Joshua fight, then I went to New Mexico to train with Jon Jones, down here in Ireland to go back to the boxing, and it's just, I take it as just a blessing to be able to travel all around and experience different training with different teams and picking up different things from here and there, and to be able to put it into our camp. And listen, life is very good. I'm here training very hard, but also got the family here, so I got a very good balance, I feel.
Do you feel that's perhaps something that was missing in the past?
I do. I feel like as a fighter, like they always say, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and I feel very content. And I feel like, you know, with the training, like, and training is hard, and it's always boxing, you know, watching fights of your opponent, and you're talking boxing, you're talking training, and it's nice just to, at the end of the day, just to get away, you know, see my wife, see my kids, hang with them, and this sort of just takes just a little time just to, there's no boxing.
Yeah, you finally found the formula.
yeah. But it's working. It's like I said, it's one of those things where I have the opportunity now to travel with my family, which is a blessing. And we get to go around the world together and experience not only traveling together, but like, you know, just different cultures, different foods, everything.
It seems like your motivation levels aren't dropping either, because sometimes some fighters can take this as setbacks rather than motivation to keep working, especially now you'll be working through Christmas.
Yeah, I'll be working for Christmas and New Year's, my birthday, but I feel like I'm a lot more motivated now because like I achieved a lot of things in the past with my old trainer and old team, but I found somebody that I really love and that really works for me. You know, Andy Lee looking after the boxing, like George looking after nutrition, strength and conditioning, recovery, and like I said before, it's like every session is a purpose. And you're only given a certain amount of energy to train every day, and you got to use it the right way. And I feel like now I'm using it the right way.
Yeah, that's great. Look, you mentioned that you've been training with Jon Jones, and us over here in UFC world know he's getting ready for a heavyweight title defense against Stipe Miocic. So talk about your time with him and perhaps what you were able to contribute to his camp.
Yeah, he invited us over for camp, so we made plans to fly to London, watch Joshua Dubois, then we flew to New Mexico, and it's an eye-opener, you know, like these UFC fighters, like I do train very hard, but and I you know, 2 times a day, but these guys are like 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day, and there's a lot of aspects, like there's the wrestling, there's the grappling, there's the striking, there's the boxing. I'm like, and then they have to add in like the conditioning, and they have to add in the swim, like there's so many things involved. And it was a great experience to be there. Like Jones just welcomed us in, and just gave us his team to use. He had to use my team if you want to do pads with anyone, if you want to spar with anyone. Did a bit of swimming when we were there. We did a bit of sparring, and I tell you, he's got very long reach, and he's very sort of calm. It's got like this calm demeanor, but he's very like just sneaky and tricky, you know. And it was nice just to. Even just being there to watch the sparring sessions and the octagon was like, man, this is awesome. And listen, hopefully, like,
for you.
It was a great experience.
Yeah.
And I was able to pick up a few things that were going to help with our camp. But like just seeing that and being able to mix it, like sort of mix and mingle with those guys, I'll love when I get back to New Zealand to mix and mingle with our guys in New Zealand, you know. I know we're always in New Zealand and we're always doing our own thing, but I'm definitely going to go in and watch them train because I find it very interesting. Like just so many things involved. Like our sport is like the sweet science, where you know we have to. And these guys, there's way more involved.
Yeah, and, going into the fire as opposed to evading it.
Yeah, like we're evading it, right? And we're just standing there with throwing hands. These guys are like elbows, knees, I'm like, what?
Who knew you had a whole lot more weapons in your arsenal, Joseph, if you just want to use them?
I don't know, but yeah, I know. And then listen, it was nice. I didn't really get into the striking or like jiu-jitsu or anything, but I did like ground and pound the bag with it all that. It was just nice to try something else, and it was just creating a new stimulus. I do respect them a lot because I will never I will never jump in octagon ever.
Were you able to get any one-on-one time with Jon Jones?
Yeah, we had one-on-one time sparring, and just being able to share ideas and share knowledge. And he's very, what I say, like even with the success he's had. And with this fight coming up, it seems like he's a person that's always open to learning or to getting ideas from everyone else. And that's the sense that I got when I was there. But we did have one-on-one time to be able to spar each other. No kicks involved, it's just hands. And he took in a few things, and it was nice. It was nice just to mix it with someone like Jon Jones. It's just it's like I love the sport. I love watching it. I love supporting our guys back in New Zealand and seeing them do well on the big stage. And again, it's just one of those sports where I don't think I could ever imagine myself doing it. So these guys, fighters are crazy, but then you got next level of crazy, and I think that's these guys.
Make you feel a little bit better about your kind of crazy.
Yeah, like my crazy's fine. Okay.
Well, look, let's get back to you and what you've been up to. You've been talking about your new nutritionist. Well, obviously not new to you, but a newer name to us here, and helping you with your strength and conditioning as well. He's got experience in this also. So talk to us a bit about him and what he's been able to implement for you in your program and your preparation.
Yeah, with Andy Lee, I've always had a great relationship with Andy Lee doing the boxing training, and he looks after all the boxing side of things, and he's great. I feel like he's one of the best trainers in the world. And then I was always missing the strength and conditioning part, the nutrition part, the recovery part. And now that I have Jordan on board, his knowledge is I feel like it's crazy, the knowledge that he has in terms of the body, what it needs, when it needs it, when it needs rest, how hard he can push the body on certain days. And I just feel like that everything sort of just, I had bits and pieces, but now it's all like one. For example, before working with George, I would never think that you could train on fight day. But now we train on fight day, and there's a purpose behind it. And people think it's crazy. Like we do a full-on session on fight day, you know?
Wow.
And there's a reason behind it. It's like just to run through it quickly. It's like your body has the adrenaline, and it's called norepinephrine. And when that rises in your body on fight day, because no matter who you are, you're always going to have this level of norepinephrine. When it rises in your body, it eats away all the carbs. And your body's primary source of fuel is carbs when you're fighting. The more carbs you have, the longer you're going to last in the ring or the octagon, wherever it is. So when you spike your heart rate on fight day, when it drops, norepinephrine comes down and your body holds onto all the carbs. And there's a lot of science behind what he does, and it all makes sense. Like ever since I started working with him, I just followed exactly what he said in terms of strength, conditioning, nutrition, rest, recovery, HRV. I wear a Fitbit all the time now just to monitor something called HRV, and it's like in the last year and a half, I've just learned so much.
Have you got your eyes set on any opponent for the new year?
Yeah, I wanted to fight someone called Adric Carbayel. He's had 2 good wins in boxing, and he's a WBC mandatory. And I felt like me being WBO mandatory and him being WBC would be a nice fight. I think Zhang has a rematch clause with myself. I'm not sure if he's going to take it or not. And but I just like to fight anyone above me, though. It would be nice to fight the bar, but I think they might have a rematch with Joshua. So I think within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to find out exactly how it's going to look.
That would be amazing. Look, Joseph, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us on UFC on Sky. Have a great training, and hopefully a fight announcement will come very soon.
Thank you very much. Let's go.
Kia ora, kia koe, Joseph, and we look forward to seeing your next matchup, hopefully in the beginning of 2025. Thank you for joining me at the desk this week.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And keep posted, whānau, UFC 312. Hopefully we will see Kai Kara-France featuring on February 9th, 2025.
Hopefully, for the belt.
For the bout. Up next, though, we have UFC 308. Head over now to Sky Arena or Sky Sport Now to get booking. Thank you for joining us. Hei kona mai.